Hey there, it's Diane Forster. Welcome to I Have Today, the show that inspires, empowers, and educates you. And we talk about the art of intentional living. I hope you're having a beautiful day today. I hope that things are going well in your life. I hope you're intending well. And we have a very special guest. He's a dear friend of mine, and he is making a massive impact in the world today. His name is Brad Menachemson, and he is going to be in the studio with us in just a few minutes. He's the founder of a company called ZADASI, and he's all about helping women empowerment and women get the funding they need, get the resources they need in order for them to make the impact they're designed and destined to do in this world. And I love a man who supports women. I love a man who goes out of his way for women. And so we're going to have a great conversation on what ZADASI is, his background, why now, why is this so important? I'm sure he's going to share some statistics that are going to blow you away. So Brad's going to be in the studio with us in just a few minutes. So if you're here for the first time, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me. And if you've been here before, welcome back. That also means the world to me. Our show has been live on the E360 TV network for almost 3 years now. And I want to say, and I should know this, so shame on me for not knowing this, but I think this is our 100th episode, or just about our 100th episode since we launched on E360. Yeah, baby. I have had the most incredible guests on this show, and we would be nothing without those guests, and we'd be nothing without you, our audience. And this audience has been growing steadily since we started. We now have over 100,000 impressions per episode. We are the #1 show on the E360 TV network for most minute views, which means you're engaged and you're liking the content and you're staying and you're coming back. So thank you. That means so much. And it is my pledge and honor to keep bringing you relevant, important, valuable content for your life so that you could really be living to your highest, greatest, fullest potential, because that's what we're all about here. So, and today is no exception. We've started off the year so far. Brad is our 4th guest of the new year, and it's been amazing. We started out with Michael Sandler, epic episode, amazing. Then we had Dr. Louise Schwartz-Walter, who actually did a brain soul clearing on me right on air. You know me, I'm the guinea pig, but I show you in real time how quickly you can change your life. And I bring on all these amazing people. And then last week we had Amy Porterfield on, amazing Amy Porterfield, who left working for Tony Robbins 14 years ago to start her entrepreneurial journey. She's generated over $80 million. Yay, Amy. Has over 50,000 students, and she has her brand new book out. So we have all the information about all our guests, all their resources in our show notes. So if you missed any of those shows, you can go back and watch them. And where can you catch us? Well, like I said, on E360 TV, and we stream on Roku, on Amazon Fire, on Apple TV. We're available live on Facebook at I Have Today with Diane Forster, YouTube, I Have Today with Diane Forster, and we're also live on LinkedIn and Twitter at Diane Forster Official. And if you prefer to listen to a podcast, we take these episodes and they're available on all the podcast streaming platforms. So yeah, we're close to 70,000 in our audience views, and I'm so grateful for that. So if you're not following us or subscribe to us, I would ask that you do that if you're so inclined. That would mean the world. That really boosts us and gets this work and message out to more people. So thank you for that. All right. One of our regular features that we do every single week is we have a weekly intention statement. Our intention statement this week is, I have today to treat everyone as an equal. I have today to treat everyone as an equal, because we do. No one is better than us. No one is worse than us. We all deserve to be treated equally. And I wanted to use that as our intention statement this week, especially because I have Brad here and what he's going to be talking about. But let's keep that top of mind as you're going through your day. You know, all of us are on our own paths and our own journeys, and we all come into this experience as one. We leave it as one, and we all deserve to create any sort of life experience that we want while we're on this journey. And so the better you are to people, the better you treat people, the more worthy you treat people, that worthiness comes back to you. And that's not the reason why you do it. But there is no greater feeling in the world than making somebody feel good. And so we all deserve to be treated equally. So I have today to treat everyone as an equal. Now, to help you anchor in this intention statement for the week, the team makes amazing graphics. You can find them on my Instagram page at Diane Forster Official. It's already uploaded there. There's a little button called wallpapers, and they're there. And what I want you to do is take it as a screenshot for your phone so that every time you look at your phone, you see it. And how do we create new habits? Through repetition. So if you keep seeing this over and over again, that will start to anchor in, and it will become a part of who you are. And so that's what we do for you. So go check it out on my Instagram page at Diane Forster Official. All right, so we're getting ready to bring Brad in the studio in just a moment, and I can't wait to share him with you. This is going to be an amazing conversation, so make sure you're sticking around. Ping a couple people, text a couple people, let them know that this is happening right now, and share this. And when we finish our commercial from the Spifter, Brad will be in the studio with us here. So take a look and listen. This week's episode of I Have Today is brought to you by the Spifter. The Spifter is a fun sifting spoon that makes cooking, baking, and decorating with sugars and spices so much fun. No more mess or wasting your spices. It's fast, clean, and easy. Everything looks and tastes delicious. It's also great for straining loose tea, getting pesky broken cork out of your wine glass, and draining liquid off food like olives and capers. Whether you're a novice cook or a gourmet chef, you'll love the results. The Spifter, the kitchen gadget that no kitchen should be without. Well, hello, Brad Menachemson. How are you?
Hello, Diane. All the better for being with you. Love the topic. Love the intention line.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, you inspired it. You know, I only bring on guests that I vetted. I'm very particular. I only do so many episodes a year. And so, you know, I bring on people who are aligned with our vision and mission, and that also have information, resources, backgrounds, experience, and missions themselves that want to be on our show and want to align with our audience. And our audience is 72% women, and they're 85% of our audience is between the ages of 35 and 65 years old. I just did research on this. That's why the numbers are so in my head. I know that's your audience too, right?
Perfect. Well, yeah, absolutely. And before I get started, let me congratulate you. If this is the 100th show, then I'm so excited to be on the 100th show. And I know that you only bring quality guests on, so I'm so appreciative of the time that you're going to give me to be able to have this chat, because yes, the message that I've got to say is incredibly important. Yes, it needs to be said. And yes, it needs to be said from a male. And I'll go into all the details about that. And it needs to be said with intention. And intention is incredibly powerful. And if we're talking about equality, we talk a lot about in what we do at ZADASI, we talk a lot about, okay, the inequality. And that's where the focus tends to be, because what ZADASI is, if you don't mind me getting stuck straight into it. So let's go. So ZADASI is an organization that supports and scaffolds women in business and women entrepreneurs. So what does that mean? Well, what that means is it's a personal mission of mine when I started this organization to say there is inequality and there are issues in relation to impediments put in front of women who want to be successful in business, either as an entrepreneur or in a working environment, corporate working environment. And we hear the statistics, and you're right, there are. The statistics are completely overwhelming. right? 2.3% of VC capital goes to women only. They make up 38% of businesses applying for it. Women earn on average 20 to 25% less than their men counterpart for doing exactly the same work. Women, the roadblocks that are put on, and particularly women that go into any type of incubator or any type of program that is going to try and get them to the point of raising money, again, there is impediments that put upon them because there is only a minutiae amount of women that actually succeed through those programs because they're not designed. They are not designed to build, motivate, and get the participants to the position where they can actually bring in money into their organizations or their businesses to allow them to scale for growth because of mindset. And mindset is massive. So when we talk about equality, we talk about Einstein's theory of relativity, where everything should be equal, and that's equality, where it shouldn't matter and it shouldn't make any difference whether it's male or female. And I'm going to say this right up front, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about ZADASI. And this is, Diane, unfortunately, I don't believe going to happen in my lifetime, but I can be forever hopeful. I am waiting for the day that ZADASI can open up its doors to males. I'm waiting for the day that we can turn around and say the three pillars that we focus on, which is forum, funding, and networking, can be available. Our education process that we put people through, the 4-week education process we put them through, the access to funding, first level funding in, and then the access to a vetted network that is simply there provided to support and make sure that we scaffold and build each other to be the best entrepreneurs we possibly can be, at the moment is only for women in business and women entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. I live for the day where we can open it to men, because you know what that means? That means we're all living on an even, equal playing field. That means no longer do we have to have an organization like ZADASI that just focuses to uplift women so that we get them to the point where they're exactly equal to where their male counterpart is in relation to doing the same job or the same business or the same requirement. And when that day happens, and please God it happens in my lifetime, then I know that we've succeeded. But in the meantime, what we do is we purely focus on women because I don't want to move paradigms. Paradigms are too big for me to concentrate on. I want to shift the needle. I want to know that within my lifetime, through the efforts and legacy that I can put together, through the skill set, I've been in business for 20 plus years. I've been a serial entrepreneur. I've had some incredible successes. I've had some incredible failures. I've learned everything along the way, and I take it like this. Everything up until this point of our conversation that we're having right now is simply wisdom. What I do with that wisdom going forward is what's impactful and important to me. So whether I've repeated the same thing, it doesn't really matter in the past. I'm not concerned because every time I've done something, I've learned something because nothing can be exactly the same. So it doesn't matter. But as long as I take it and I move it forward, I've got 2 daughters and I've got a very successful entrepreneur wife. And I see it every day in her business. So she'll have a conversation and not get a result. And then she'll turn around and she'll say, Brad, can you call the same person and have to say exactly the same thing? And I do it and I get the result. And I get the result because I'm a male. Yeah. And I'm sorry, that's not good enough for me. I have 2 daughters, both want to be entrepreneurs, 15-year-old and a 12-year-old. Mm-hmm. When they go for VC funding, right, I've got a son as well who's 17. If they go and they present the exact same thing and the exact same business with the exact same experience, he has a 98% chance of getting the money against them having a 2.2 chance of getting the money. Not acceptable. Not acceptable. So it just doesn't work for me. So ZADASI, ZA, I've got my youngest daughter who's Zara. That's the ZA. The DA is Daniela, who's my wife, and the SI is Sierra. So that's ZADASI. And I'm doing it for them. I'm doing it simply so that my daughters, please God, through the effort that I put in, through the network that I build, and through the people that are aligned to our mission and vision and purpose of this movement, are going to be able to, which we already are, moving the needle a little bit to make it more equitable for them, because why shouldn't it be? And if it's more equitable for my daughters, it's going to be more equitable for your daughters or anyone else's daughters or any woman to come in any generation going forward. And I know that at the end of all of this, and let's please God, many years down the line, and they're standing over my graveside and they read my legacy and they say, he started an organization that shifted the needle for women and I moved the needle for one woman. Well, I'm good. I'm gold. So that's what we do.
And you've already done it for more than one woman, and you're doing it for so many. And I love this, which is why I wanted to bring you here. You know, you and I met on Clubhouse a couple of years ago, and I instantly loved everything about you, your heart, your soul, your depth, your compassion, your generosity. And it didn't matter what I said or anybody else said, but I'll speak for myself because, you know, that's the relationship that you and I have. But I shared big ideas right then and there, and you instantly loved them and instantly started making connections and collaborations for me on behalf of my big dream. And I just was so blown away by that, because most people don't do that. And I love that your focus is on women. I am going to be I am part of ZADASI, and I'm about to go through a forum, which I'm really excited about. Because
I'm so excited for you. Sorry to catch up. I'm so excited.
Yes, no, because I know that I do have big goals, dreams, and visions, and I can hold myself back. And there are things that have blocked me and have been in my way. And I'm a believer in, you know, it's not rejection, it's redirection, all of those things. But there is a mindset I need to have and a persona that I need to carry in order to achieve these. And I'm not going to get there on my own. I will have all the excuses. And I didn't just get here. It took a while for me to get and really understand. Absolutely, I need the support. So this is a message for all of you out there, particularly the women, that it's okay to say, I don't know what I don't know. As Amy Porterfield said last week, I don't know what I don't know. And I know that I need to be supported and surrounded by people who support me 100% and know more than I do and can see what I can't see for myself. So then I can make those decisions, those leaps, and find those opportunities.
Absolutely. And you're right. I live in a world, and anyone that comes into my conference lives in a world where possibility is infinity times infinity. Absolutely everything is possible. Yeah. I live it. I'm not talking manifestation. I'm talking possibility. And there's a little bit of a difference between. If we go into the mindset believing that anything is possible, then we put our analytical business brains on to say, okay, well, how am I going to be able to achieve this? Well, yes, I've got a secret recipe. I've got a secret sauce, which you just tipped on, is that we all have blind spots. But what are blind spots? We can't see our blind spots. That's why they call blind spots. Now, the secret recipe is this. Once you get into an environment that is completely confidential, that allows you to break down as a person to become vulnerable, and we understand that to be the best entrepreneur you possibly can be is not about business. It's about you as the person, and it's about everything that's in your life against different pillars that are going to be pulling and pushing that you have blockages in, and you can't see them because they're called roadblocks. But guess what happens? As soon as you get into an environment that's vulnerable, that allows you to release, we call it the 5% of stuff that you don't talk about to anyone else. And this isn't my proven formula. I've been part of different organizations, privileged organizations, throughout my career, where they dive into stuff like this. You know, Plug to EO, which I'm part of, and YPO, and all these different programs. The thing about those programs is that they're only available once you get to a certain level of revenue and once you get to a certain level of success. What I've done is said, I want to make this available to every woman, because why shouldn't it be? Because I can see the success that I've had by it. And when you're in a confidential environment and you become vulnerable and you allow yourself to be there, other people get to see your blind spots. And then, with no judgment and no advice, through something called Gestalt, which is sharing from personal experience, I can tell you, and I can say, Diane, when I went through something similar, this is what happened to me. This is what I did. This is what I learned. And whatever you take out of that, you take out of that. And that's where the magic happens. Because all of a sudden, you've released it. So you're not holding on to it. You've released it and got it out of your system. We feel really good.
Yes.
But then guess what? I'm in a room with entrepreneurs that are at the same level, if not different levels. They're all there to scaffold and build me to be the best entrepreneur I can be. And I'm going to gain off all their experiences. And it's not going to cost me anything more to give it because they're going to give it to me freely. Because guess what? They're going to learn from me. Every person has a unique story. And it has to be unique because it's yours. You're the only person that has your story. And all of those valuable life lessons that every single person has, doesn't matter if you're a 16, we have a youth program called ZADASI Generations. We teach this program to 16-year-olds. It doesn't matter. They have life experience that can be taught and given to another 16-year-old. We've run forums, Diane, where we have women of the age of 20 and women of the age of 78. Different spectrums, at different stages of their life, both teaching each other because we all have something that we can teach someone else once we get to that place. Mm-hmm. So our mission is that we have something called Speed to Clarity. I don't want this thing to drag on. Our courses are like 4 weeks. We hammer it in. We get in there real quick. We break it down real quick. And then we build you back up real quick. But then for women, and that's why this is for women, we give you access to funding, which you don't normally have so easily because we're breaking down all the barriers for you to get there. And then we give you access to a community of vetted professionals that are there to simply support you, right? So I've taken all of my learnings and all the money that I've wasted, and then I've gone and vetted a whole community of people and said, can you align to the vision and mission? Yes, great. They're the best at what they do. So guess what? We're going to be saving people so much time and so much money because I can turn around with confidence and say, okay, you need to be doing this. You need to be speaking to Diane. Diane is the best person in the world for this. And guess what? She's aligned to the ZADASI mission and vision. She is going to look after you. And I know confidently with hand in my heart that I can place that person with that right person. Because to scale a business and be successful, it's about educating. Firstly, it's about wanting to. So it's about the fact of saying, I want personal growth, right? And I'm prepared to pay a little bit to get personal growth. Right. So I want to be coached and I want personal growth. Then I need access usually to funds. So we give that. And then I need access to a community that's going to continue to scaffold and build me as I go through the different layers of success. Mm-hmm. And that's what we need to be able to become successful in business. I've been there, I've done it, and I've brought on the most wonderful people into this organization. They've all been there and all done it. We've all got the lessons learned. We've got the scars to show for it.
Right.
But we're there to support and build and scaffold.
Yes. Yes. I'm going to encourage you to change your language. I never do this, but I'm being so called to say this right now. This will happen in your lifetime, Brad. This will happen. This will happen quickly because it's infectious in the right way. And so what did you say? One of the things, you don't want to shift the paradigms. I love that too, that we don't need to do this over here, take on this, that we can just move this way and build something new and different and create a new culture. Because I've been asked, how would you take on this? I said, I wouldn't,
Exactly. I'm
going to do what I do over here and have that attract who it's meant to attract. And so I believe that because you're so passionate about it, you've got the experience, the scars, the knowledge, the wisdom, the tools, all the things. You've got role models in your life, meaning your wife and your daughters, who are your role model, just like you're their role model. Mm-hmm. They're yours too. They're the drivers and they motivate you.
Yeah.
And you have already, since the launch of this business, attracted so many people, like you said, who are like ace, amazing people who are part of the organization. And that's just going to keep happening. That's going to keep happening. And because you've been a successful entrepreneur for 20 years, multiple major businesses. If you want to talk about that, please do. And you've had so much success and lessons along the way. And you know that things don't have to take long, that speed to clarity can come quickly in a, in a defined amount of time when it's so intentional. The way you've created this is so intentional. These are the things you need. This is the order you need to do them. So I believe that this will happen in your lifetime. I do. Yeah.
And I'll take that. Right. and that's why I love surrounding myself with people like you, Diane, and people that within our network, because I don't know everything. When I turn around and say that, and I've said that to so many people, and you're the first person to turn around and say, no, Brad, that is going to happen in your lifetime, right? If you believe in possibilities of infinity times infinity, then you have to believe that this is going to happen in your lifetime, right? And now, holy, thank you for pointing that out. And yes, it is going to happen within my lifetime. So to talk a bit about my experience, I've been an entrepreneur from a very young age. Went into a family business straight out of university, which we were able to exit on an incredibly high multiple, make some good money. And at a very young age, I had a lot of success, right? And what came along with that was ego. And all of a sudden, I think, okay, well, I know what I'm doing. I then went into the restaurant business, opened up my first restaurant, and bombed. A year later, closed the doors, lost a lot of money. But it was the best thing that ever happened to me. And I say it's truly meaning this, that if we don't take those learned experiences and turn them into wisdom, well, then it is a complete waste, right? Mm-hmm. And depends on which stage of life, depends on how you're going to be able to move forward. And that's allowed me to refine what we're doing with ZADASI all the way through all of these many years. And I worked in the public sector. I worked for the 5th largest bank in Australia for a period of time. So I got a lot of financial understanding. And then I went and opened up another business. And that was successful, which was a franchise business in Australia. And we sold multiple franchises, multiple international franchises. And that was a wonderful period of time. Then I went into mentoring and consulting. And I'm one of those people where the Rolling Stone gathers no moss. And I love to live in a world of opportunity. But even from living in a world of opportunity, what I've come to realize, and I don't call myself old, but what I've come to realize, and I've only lived 47 years. I've only lived half my life, right? So if I can take what I've learned in 47 years, imagine that for everyone. Doesn't matter where you're at, and then apply that to the next 47 years. Watch out, world. I mean, that's just going to be dangerous, right?
Yes.
So, but you've got to apply it, and it's got to be intentional. So you've got to say, okay, and people talk about your why, and people talk about your purpose, and what I learned is that if you go searching for your purpose, you're never going to find it. And what tended to happen when I became an angel investor for a period of time, still do angel investing, was that I thought that was my purpose. I'd go invest money in it. And I realized it was a cause. It wasn't my purpose. And yes, it was a cause that was important to me. Mm-hmm. So and I still stick with a lot of those investments, and I give back and I give back because you said it. And you said it at the beginning of the thing, and you said it very well. If we want to live in a world of abundance, right? And what is abundance? Abundance to me means that I have everything I need and my family has everything they need. I don't want for anything. Everything else, including my time, doesn't have to be money, including my time and everything else I can just give away, right? So that's abundance to me. And that's what ZADASI is all about. It's about the ability to be able to give without any expectation of receiving back. Because we don't have any expectation of receiving back. We know the program because we've run it through that many people and we've seen the impact that it makes. That's enough. I don't need anything more. Just changing, as I said, changing one person's trajectory, changing one person who's coming to our program thinking, well, I don't think I'm ready, or I don't think I'm fit, or I don't. And we change the mindset to, well, you actually do, and you actually can, and you actually can, and you actually can. And it's not because I'm telling them, it's because they're telling me. They're screaming back at me, and I'm trying to hold them back because they are so ready to go for it, because they are so empowered and motivated, because we bring both males and females to the table, and that is the biggest difference I see. That there are a lot of organizations, and I'm a part of a lot of them, that do some wonderful training. there's a lot of women organizations out there that are purely woman to woman that do wonderful training. Where I see the gap is that we've got to bring men to the table. Because in order for things to shift, right, it's got to come from both men and women. So men, it's imperative that we bring men into the equation, but we don't make them feel guilty. We bring them into the equation to say that to get this to an equitable position for everyone, it has to be both men and women. So the people in ZADASI that we've got training, we've got men trainers, we've got women trainers, but ultimately it didn't matter. So we're going to go find the best person in that particular vertical of business that's going to be able to teach what they're going to be able to teach. So we pair people up with the right people, regardless whether they're men or women. But in order for us to move that needle, in order for us to create that new paradigm, in order for us to have that shift, it's got to be a combination of both. And I don't convince anyone. I'm not spending my life convincing anyone. I'm just telling you what it is. And then I go and do it. And if you want to come along for the journey and enjoy it with us, the opportunity is there for everyone. But I don't sell. You don't need to. We offer life-changing experiences, but it's based upon scaffolding and building from a community aspect where people are going to build people. Because the one thing I always do say, Diane, is that the collective is always going to be more powerful than the individual. And the thing I love about living in the US, you can hear I've got this funny accent. So I was born in South Africa, lived in Australia, been in the US for 3 years, is that the US really get it. They get the fact of an industry collectively coming together and sharing knowledge and resources to build the industry. And then it's up to the entrepreneur to get their piece of that pie by working harder, smarter, better than someone else. But in order to do that, we believe your mindset has to be in the right place. You have to be completely clear of any blocks that are holding you back so you can operate as the best entrepreneur you possibly can. And that's what ZADASI gives you.
It's so good. It's so powerful. And you bring all that wisdom with you. I didn't know you were only here 3 years. I thought you were here longer. And we are, in the US, we are about community. There is a lot of opportunity to network and collaborate. And I agree that the same thing, that you do have to bring both to the table, both to the party, both to the meeting. You need that. Because how else are men in this predominantly male industry who've been groomed and raised and trained to believe a certain way going to see a different perspective if they don't witness the perspective? So
it's only about witnessing it. It's about getting people to the table so that they intrinsically understand and then get behind it. Because to witness it is one thing, and we celebrate it when we see a woman go onto a Fortune 100 board or Disney board. That's wonderful. Isn't there a woman on that board? And yes, it is wonderful. Don't get me wrong. It's wonderful that there's a woman sitting on that board. But why is there one? And why do we have to make a big deal about it? Why could it not be that the board is just filled with the best people possible, irrespective of whether they're male or female? But that is a generation. You're absolutely right. That is a generational mindset that has been there for a very long time. That is going to take time to change. But the world, in my opinion, is really at an impasse at the moment, and that's where I think our timing. I believe timing is everything, and I think things are going to happen when they're going to happen, regardless. And it's just about how we take action into that, not how we control it, because we can't control time. It's how we take action into that. Coming out of COVID, where you and I met, particularly in our clubhouse, where the whole world all of a sudden had time, and we were able to make these connections, but we were able to connect on a level that we hadn't been able to experience before, because all of a sudden the world had some commonality, meaning that you could speak to anyone and say, well, how's COVID? How are you going? Right? And all of a sudden you can have a conversation with anyone. And that was wonderful, because the whole world started connecting on something. Coming out of that, though, in 2023, what I see is that we're becoming a little bit desensitized to it, because of the fact that all of a sudden we got so connected, but now all of a sudden we separated again, and the bigger world goes on. We're becoming desensitized to it, and we're becoming desensitized to the feeling behind it. And what I want to try, and I do a lot of university lectures, and I'm trying to get into schools now as well, because for the next generation to understand, and it needs to be very clear, that in order for any of this to happen, right, we need to be leading from a place. And it's interesting because you and I had a very, I'm not going to go into it, but we had a very quick discussion about the quantum and quantum physics and all that
Yes.
wonderful
Yeah.
stuff, right? Which
Loved
is based
it.
in science, people. Yeah, which I love. It's based in science. But it's the power of the human body to be able to affect change and getting the understanding that your body is the most powerful tool that there is. But you have to have belief, you have to have intention, you have to have meaning, and you have to be able to put it behind something, behind an action.
Yes.
And that is all drawn from here. It's all drawn from our heart. And I'm not a woo type person. And it's weird for me to be saying things like this. It's just that I've seen it.
Yes.
And if I can speak to and get this message out to enough people to say that by opening up our heart and being intentional with our meanings and our purpose and our interaction and wanting to live in this world of possibility where everything is possible to us, and we can open our hearts to it, well, the worst thing that's going to happen is that you have an open heart. Wonderful. It means you're going to love more.
Right.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Right? And that's what the world needs right now. The world needs more love. Because we can live it desensitized to it. So the more love we can spread, and I can't believe it's coming out of a 25-year-old entrepreneur's, I'm not 25, but 25 years in the industry, right, where everything was bang, 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 but it's not.
It's not.
It's about this, it's about you, it's about connection, and it's about belief and intention.
Yes. Amen to all of that. It's so true. All right, Brad, I got to ask you a question, and I didn't give you the heads up on this. So I have a couple more questions for you. The first is, I want to know how you live the I Have Today way, which is intentionally in the present moment. And if you wouldn't mind, start it with I have today too, because we collect all of our guests' intention statements.
Okay. I have today too become powerful in my interactions and become purposeful in my giving. So I'm a creator. I create from a position of power, and then I give from a position of intention. And that's what I have today to do. I have today to create, and I have today to give.
Oh, so beautiful. And yes, you do. You do that. All right. We're going to have a link for you here, a couple places. One of them is ZADASI.com. And team, can you put it up? It's ZADASI.
Perfect. And I'm going to tell you a secret because no one knows about this, besides the 4 teams, is that we've got some wonderful people involved, and our CEO, by the name of her name, Susie Miller, and you've met her.
I have.
When you go to ZADASI.com, it could probably still be there. She does take you through a training program exercise where we're giving away a lot of the stuff. We're giving away these tools for free because we want to just give back and give back. But that soon is going to be switched to our new website, which we've been working with a company called Brandbeat on in partnership with them. And I think by the time people see this and click on it, it should be going to our brand new website, which is going to be launched today, which I'm very, very excited about. So yeah, definitely go and check that out. You're either going to get all of the information from Susie, or you're going to get to the website where you can then get all the information from Susie, because we just want to keep giving and giving and giving.
Yes, yes. So great. And yes, everybody, that'll all be in the show notes. Everywhere where this show is available, it'll be there. And then more information on Brad, people can find you on LinkedIn. I know you're active on LinkedIn, correct?
Yeah, that's probably the best place. Is to hop into my URL on LinkedIn, which is just Brad Menachemson. You'll see it when I say in my bio, like there's 3 words. Like this is all you kind of need to know about me. But if you want to know more, sure, keep reading, because there is the history there. But I'm a person, Diane, where if I've taken the wisdom of the past, which means I live in the present, and if I live in the present, I can create very powerfully for what's going to be intended in the future. And that's where I live. When I wake up and I meditate, which is really weird because I meditate every day now for an hour and a half in the morning.
I love it.
So anyway, so I meditate for an hour and a half in the morning, and I start my day intentionally with that as my thoughts, as I want to live in the present, so I can create from the present, from the learned wisdom experience of the past, to move things forward for myself. It doesn't matter what they are. I'm not just talking business people, I'm talking everything. My relationships, my love, my gratitude. And I am incredibly grateful for this opportunity to be able to speak to you and get this message out a little bit more, because that's what it's about. I just hope that one person resonates with our discussion. And it's not even for them to come into ZADASI. It just resonates with the discussion that you have everything in you to be the most powerful, intentional person to live your best, abundant life that you can. It's all there.
Yes.
You just need to just clear out all of the cobwebs and all of the crap. And then guess what? The future is just wonderful for everyone. And I just want everyone to know that.
Well, that was so well said. And it's all of who you are. You know, one of the things that we do, everybody behind the scenes, when I bring on a guest, I ask them to, you know, send us their bio. And your bio was no bio at all. It was so you. It was so hard. You just say, I was born in South Africa. You know, you just tell a little of your story. And I said, this is so Brad. He's all heart, which is indicative and validation of that's the place where you live and operate. And it shows in everything. And I'm so honored to have you here on the show. I'm so honored to share you with our viewers and our listeners, our audience. I hope everyone checks out ZADASI and Brad, because he is the real deal. He really is. And I'm grateful to be a part of ZADASI. Can't wait for my forum. And you keep doing you, and you will have this and see this in your lifetime. It is my intention that I'm setting for you that happens. So,
and I receive that, and I love you, and I thank you, and let's just keep moving on. And yeah, it takes people like you, Diane, to be able to broadcast out these messages for people like me to say, let's amplify it. Let's get stuck in. Let's get this done. Let's get that change today. Check out ZADASI, but please also always support Diane Forster, because from the first moment I've heard your voice, my idea is that this is a woman that's going to be in my life forever, because you are a powerful, outstanding businesswoman who I know has a very big vision and mission. As you said at the beginning, you had a huge vision and mission, which I love. And collectively, we will absolutely make sure that that's achieved, not only for you, but for anybody else that else wants it as well. So thank you.
Well, thank you for that. And I received that too. Thanks, Alosha, for that. Yes, this is a great conversation. Well, my friend, thank you for being here. I love you. And I'm so grateful for you. And I know I'll be talking to you again soon. So thanks so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been my pleasure.
All righty. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, so good. So good. So powerful. I want everyone to go check it out. I mean, don't I just bring on the best of the best people? Amazing. All right, we're getting ready to wrap up. We're going to do our mantra meditation as we close out. But before we do that, I wanted to share something with you. And this is in line with part of my vision of what I'm creating. And one of the things that I'm helping you do right now is to create a television show like I have. Create a platform that's uniquely you and special, so that you can get your message out to the world in a bigger way and have more impact in your life. And I'm going to host a free masterclass. Team, put the name up there right now for everybody. It's called Launch Your Own TV Show, where I'm going to teach you how to do it. It's actually a lot easier than you think, but there's two things you need to know. The top 3 mistakes I see most hosts make, so that you don't make those, and the 7 things your show needs to include to have it really be powerful and dynamic and get the attention of all the content providers out there that are looking for you. Because not only are the content providers looking for you, amazing shows, your audience is waiting for you. And so why don't you learn how to do it and start using that in your business and life to make the bigger impact that you get to make in this world. So it's at tvhostmaker.com, tvhostmaker.com. And I hope to see you inside the masterclass. Thank you so much. All right. Well, what we're going to do right now, Brad mentioned an hour and a half of meditation a day. We're just going to take a few minutes to meditate, because my hope and goal for you is that you leave this episode feeling better at the end than you did at the beginning. And why don't we anchor in what we learned today, so that you can start living more intentionally with this information. And you now know that there are resources and people out there like ZADASI and Brad and his amazing team and organization who are helping so many women get the support that they need and, fix that line of demarcation where there's just, it's too much, it's too divisive, it's not fair, and we want it to be more equitable in this world. And so what I want you to do is we're going to take in 2 deep breaths. What we're going to do is breathe in for 4. I want you to pull that air all the way down to your root chakra or your tailbone and hold it. And I want you to count to 8 as you're holding your breath, but then send that energy to all of your chakras, and they're your energy centers. So your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, which is your belly button, your heart, so important, your throat, your voice, your third eye, which is your intuition and your vision, your crown, which is your receptor, your receiver of all the information that you get. And then above your head, about arm's length above, is your soul star. And it's a very important one. It's your quantum point. And we want to send energy there so that you're open to receiving all that's available in this infinite universe that's meant for you. It's really great for guidance. So just count to 8 and just send energy there, light them all up, and then breathe out for 8. And when you're breathing out, I want you to envision that you're blowing out birthday candles like you're blowing out hard, but envision that every negative emotion, memory, trauma, experience, feeling that might be trapped in you is coming up and out. You're just getting rid of it. I like to visualize like it's like chimney smoke, or train smoke, how it is, just sooty, disgusting, whatever. Get rid of it. And we're going to do that 2 times and then just listen to the words, okay? All right, so if you're driving, just listen. Obviously, don't close your eyes. For everybody else, just put your feet flat on the floor. You can put your hands on your lap. You can place them down if you feel grounded, or you can turn them up if you're wanting to receive more energy. And then just listen to my guidance and listen to the words. Here we go. I want you to breathe in for the count of 4. Hold it as we send the energy to your chakras for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and blow it out for 8. Whew, you should feel really good. All right, we're going to do that one more time. Breathe in for 4. Hold it as we count to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe it out for 8. I have today to love my life. Something really good is going to happen to me today. I can feel it. Miracles, big and small. I notice them all. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. I have today to treat everyone as an equal. I now understand that we're all worthy. We're all deserving. We're all here for a purpose. We're all creators. We're all unique at what we do. And we all deserve to be treated with kindness, compassion, love, respect, and honor. I am included in one of those people. And treating myself well and honoring myself, loving myself, appreciating myself is my work and my job to do. I'm going to tap into the resources that are available for me to get the support I need because I can't see my blind spots. But other loving, kind, compassionate people can see them for me. There's no shame in that. No reason to feel bad about that. Honor that and allow that support to come in. I have today to appreciate Brad for being on this show today and sharing his heart and openly his journey and his mission and what he's doing. I want to get behind that. I want to honor that and appreciate that. Whether I'm a woman or a man, it really doesn't matter. But I have today to apply my knowledge and be intentional in how I move in my life. I will not be tied to figuring out how to shift paradigms. I'm just going to create new opportunities in the infinity times infinity universe that we are a part of. I'm going to be open to that. I'm going to know that it's about mindset and heart and feelings and compassion and love. That's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to build. Treat us all equally. Honor everybody. Live in love and light. Self-reflection, self-acceptance, self-awareness, self-worthiness, self-love. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to thank my guest, Brad Menachemson, for being here. Don't forget to go to ZADASI.com. If you are interested in learning how to be a TV host, join me for the free masterclass at tvhostmaker.com. I'm here every Monday live at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Please join me again. Check me out on social media and, of course, my website, dianeforster.com. Thank you for being here. I send you love and light. Have a beautiful today. Take care. Bye-bye.